before I start anything else on my whole how to grow food series on a tiny budget, I wanted to talk about the container that you're going to be growing your pots on, because I'm starting off with a windowsill because that's the space that almost everyone is certainly going to have. Doesn't matter whether it's north facing or south facing, you'll have a windowsill. I'm going to talk about the containers that you're going to put your plants in. Now obviously you can buy container pots, but I want to keep this whole series as low budget as possible, so it's either stuff that you can scrounge, find, or reuse. And in this case I think the best option is actually a tin can, and I like these for quite a few reasons. First being that most people are going to have these from soup cans, from tin food. It's something that you can reuse. Now there's two different ways that you can do this. You can either take a nail and punch holes in the bottom, which is going to be good for drainage, but if you have it on a windowsill, unless you have a tray underneath it, I prefer not to do that, and I prefer to just err on the side of caution when I'm watering my plants, just to not soak them, because bear in mind that if there's no holes in the bottom, that's going to fill up with water at the bottom, and then the roots are going to rot and your plant is going to die. So if you have a tray to put underneath it, punch holes in the bottom. If you don't, just leave the bottom without any holes and just try and always give it a lot less water than you think it needs. Now, is it possible that you're going to mess up? I promise you that doesn't matter how careful you are going to mess up at some point. I am certainly going to kill hundreds of plants this year. That's just part of gardening. You're going to mess up, and every year you're going to mess up a little bit less, but anyone who tells you that they've never killed a plant is lying. It's just part of learning how to do it. There are a few things you want to look out for. If it's one of those tin cans with a pull top lid, can you see it's got an edge? That edge is quite sharp, so bear that in mind. For that reason, I would suggest maybe get the tins where you actually have to use a can opener to cut the edge. And then what you do is you get a penny and you hold that penny down along the edge and you press it, just so that anything which is maybe sharp and sticking out a little bit is going to be completely flattened out, and I'll show you that specifically in another video. But just for starting out, if you're looking for containers for your plants, tin cans are the best options. If you have a little tray that you can put underneath them, punch a hole in the bottom so that it drains properly. Try and get the tin cans which don't have a pull top lid, just because that edge does stay sharp. And then I will have to cover soil in a different video, because all of these 3-minute videos have to be very specific, very to the point. And if you have any questions about what restrictions you have, maybe you can't get tin cans, let me know and I'll try and do another video that is specific to you, which will hopefully help you solve that problem.